Hi, this is George ALGER with another segment of Our Ventura TV. And today I'm going to be speaking with Doug Halter about the Ventura Botanical Gardens. Welcome, Doug.
Well, thanks, George. I appreciate being here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Well, great. So let's start off with a real basic question.
Uh-huh.
What is the Ventura Botanical Gardens?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because there's a lot of good things going on in this community that a lot of people still don't know are happening, and the Botanical Gardens is one of them. We started this in 2005 as in a living room of Midge Storks, and it's actually an opportunity to bring a world-class garden to our community that's going to be a regional asset for years and years to come.
Cool. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about the gardens, but I wanted to get some background about how you became associated with this.
I've landscaped most of my life, and my profession is actually chemical engineering. However, about 21 years ago, I did start a landscape business, mainly for fun. And most of the community knows that I love plants and I love nature. And so when Midge Stork and Beverly and I got together, Beverly McCaslin, we all decided that, you know, a botanical gardens is something that's really missing from Ventura County. And it's something that we should really put some effort into and see what we can do to create, if there's an interest to create it here in our community. And man, the overwhelming response has been amazing. So my relationship currently is president. I'm president of the Botanical Gardens, and I've been on the board from the very beginning. And it's just been probably the most exciting endeavor I've ever been involved in.
Wow, cool. All right, so where is it?
Currently, well, let's see. Physically, we went through a site selection early on and looked at 17 different sites, and 3 of them came to the top, but there's one that I knew is where I would prefer to see it, and it actually surfaced far above all the others, and that site is Grant Park. And Grant Park, to most people, they're familiar with the Cross. The Cross Conservancy actually owns the 1 acre around the Cross. The other 109 acres is Grant Park. And the city, about 3 years ago, gave us approval to use all 109 acres to create world-class botanical gardens. And we've begun that task. It's been an amazing journey. We have so many passionate, involved people, knowledgeable people involved in this effort. I just have not seen anything like it.
Whoa, I did not realize the extent of the space that you had to work with. So this isn't something that's done in a short period of time.
No.
This is a lifetime project.
It's a lifetime. What I've said before to other people is that this is the Ventura County region's opportunity to create something as important to our region as Golden Gate Park is to San Francisco. It's that large a project. And I've been fortunate enough to be involved in a lot of really exciting things in this community, and they're all added quality of life and opportunities and made this a better community. This will, I believe, in 20 years, the Botanical Gardens will probably define this community because it is that large a scale. And I could tell you more about that if we have time.
In fact, speak a little bit about the vision.
Yeah, well, we had hired, we went out for bid and hired an architect, Mia Lear and Associates, to help us create the vision document. So that was one of the first things we did after getting our lease options with the city of Ventura for Grant Park. That vision document was created by Mia Lear. She's not only known across the state, but known across the country, known across the world. She's of El Salvadorian descent, and she was El Salvadorian Woman of the Year just a couple years ago. So her credentials are amazing, and we're very fortunate to have her involved with us. But nonetheless, we came up with the vision of creating 5 Mediterranean gardens. So we live in a Mediterranean climate. Only 2% of the landmass of the world has a Mediterranean climate, similar to California's. There's 5 zones across the world that have that climate, from California to Australia to the Cape of Africa to the Mediterranean and the Chilean. We will represent all 5 Mediterranean plant varieties in our gardens.
Wow.
And that's just the beginning. We will be having hiking trails and lookout viewing points where we have educational center where we could have classes to learn more about the geology and the plant species and what you see from this location, which is the Channel Islands and the beaches and the ocean and the river mouth. We could teach about all those things. There's a lot of educational opportunity. So we need a space for that. And then we have a heritage center that's part of this plan that will work in concert with the museum to point people to the museum to learn more about our heritage. And it's very appropriate with the cross being right in our back, on our back doorstep there, because it's a very important part of how this community began. And finally, there's a component that is an amphitheater, a 2,000-seat amphitheater, which would currently, it's envisioned to go right behind City Hall, and is something that we're yet to go through the final environmental impact report. But we have completed our vision document, we've completed our master plan, our business plan. We have done so much documentation, it makes your head swim. But I've known that the number one thing, most people want to see something physically happen. After the several years that we've been in existence, it's been very exciting to say that we opened up our first trail. It's a mile-long trail. It's quite an endeavor, and as I think I mentioned to you coming in, is that it makes me smile to see so many people using it on a daily basis. Who would have thought that a trail, a mile-long trail going from the upper parking lot of City Hall to the picnic area would create so much excitement and attention, but it really has.
This is good.
It's really exciting.
So now that I have a better sense of the scope of this project, let's talk about something pretty fundamental, and that is money. So speak about the funding of this.
Well, it's amazing. This is a partnership with the city of Ventura because they own the land, and we're going to lease the land from them. But to date, all the money that's funded our endeavors to get to this point, which has been several $100,000, has all been privately raised. And we're currently, we have a couple campaigns going on. One is what we call a foot-by-foot campaign, where people can buy a foot of trail or sponsor a foot of trail for $50. Or they could purchase a lookout point up along the new trail that we have for anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000. Or they could ask to have the trail named after them for about $100,000 to $200,000, depending on what part of the trail it is. And so we have a campaign going on, the Foot by Foot. We have a Big Step campaign, which I just described. But to date, it's been funded by events. It's been funded by generous people who understand the vision and love what's going on that simply send us checks, by membership, $35 individual memberships, $55 family memberships. And it's really, up to this point in time, money hasn't slowed us down. We have gone through the process, put all the documentation in place, did all the proper environmental studies that we needed to get to the point we are today. Our next step is, and that's what these campaigns come in handy, is to fund the actual design of the design and installation of the first garden, which will be the Chilean garden, mainly because that's the area where this trail goes through, and then the California garden. But there's no, of all the things that I've seen happen in our community, between that site being chosen and the city having the forethought and the vision to accept what we want to do at that site, there's no better site that better exemplifies why we all live in this region than that site. We see the topa-topas and the Ventura River and the ocean and the islands, and there's so much that we could teach and learn and enjoy. Right now, many of us go up to maybe to the cross or the picnic area for 5 minutes to show our visitors or our friends what a beautiful place we live in, and then we leave. Well, soon, already with the trail, we could now spend a good morning or afternoon just hiking that trail.
Brilliant. Now, any organization is typically going to need volunteers, so
Yes.
speak on that. Speak about that.
Okay.
subject.
Oh my gosh. You know, the more we could spread the workload, the faster this whole project will become a reality. But so far, I think we're moving at lightning speed compared to what I'm used to seeing from a nonprofit standpoint. We have 23 board members, all volunteer, that are extremely engaged. Every one of them chairs a committee of some sort. We have 34 advisory board members, over 1,200 members to the Botanical Gardens. Anybody interested in volunteering, believe me, we will find something. If you tell me that you love doing research on the archaeological aspects of our community, by gosh, we will put you in that position to go out and help us do that research. If you want to help do a cleanup on a once-a-month basis to make sure the trash is always picked up on that trail, or maybe even stand at the trailhead and pass that literature to people as they're hiking or running up the trail, we could do things like that. So we have a website, VenturaBotanicalGardens.com. People can go on the website, they could submit their name and email and phone number, and we'd be happy to contact them.
Nice. Okay. Well, I think we've covered a bunch right here. So we're going to wind down the show right now, but is there a summating message that you would like to note?
Well, just, you know, there was a quote that I saw early on that was sent to me that was all about one of the purposes of life is planting a tree of which you don't know who's going to sit underneath that tree and enjoy the shade. That's really, truly what life's about, is making sure we leave this place better off because we were here than if we weren't. And if we all simply have fun together, making sure that we leave this community better off because we had the forethought to do it, my gosh, the future is going to be very bright for everybody. And I know we're well on our way in this community. There's a lot of very passionate, active people doing a lot of great things. But just watch and see with the Botanical Gardens, be part of this, enjoy it. It gets us outdoors, you get exercise, you get to enjoy the beautiful natural environment, be educated about a lot of things from geology to plants to islands to ocean to rivers, and just be part of it and help make it happen. And it's just going to be an unbelievable, probably one of the best assets that this community can ever see.
This is good. And let's get that website one more time.
VenturaBotanicalGardens.com.
Great.
Okay.
Doug, thank you so much for coming by.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is a great project, not only in and of itself, but I'm really impressed with the future magnitude of what this means for the city. So
we're not used to thinking so big, it seems like, in this community, but we're slowly but surely, we're all recognizing that we are tremendously fortunate to be in this community. There's a lot of great things here that other communities only dream about having, and we're just going to continue making it better.
All right, with that, I want to thank you again.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
This is George ALGER signing off for another segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we see you again.